Everything is set. In a few minutes, we will launch the attack on the Renegade's base. A lot of things have happened since my last entry, so here's a quick recap. After I left Gary into the hands of these bandits, I ran in the swamps in hope of finding anything helpful. I ended up near a church when I picked up a signal on my PDA. Some stalkers were camping in this church and they wanted to talk to me. Hopefully they were neutrals, with strange blue camouflaged uniforms I haven't seen anywhere else. The situation was as follows. These stalkers were, just like me, trapped in the swamp. Their guide, a guy named Nimble, used to know all the secret routes to the marshes, but all of that changed since the last emission. They've been trying to find a way out for a week now, in vain. I had a long discussion with these people, and I managed to convince them to rescue Gary. He's our only ticket out of here, so it makes sense. Also, it seems that these guys have a score to settle with the Renegades. Perfect, then. They will fight with all their might. Well, here we are, waiting for the order to attack. I don't know how many Renegades are in there, but since we are only 7, most likely we'll be in inferior numbers. Nimble said that the bastards are poorly equipped, so I'm counting on that. Alright, time for action. Shit, that was a tough fight. Nimble was right. The bandits did not have any automatic guns, but they fought to the death. 2 of our guys were wounded, and 2 others were killed. May they rest in peace. Most importantly, Gary was saved. The scums already had some fun with him, so he's in a bad shape. Damn, I wish I knew how to treat wounds, but I'm no doctor. I'm even having a hard time just looking at what kind of torture they did to him. In short, we'll have to wait until he recovers to escape this hell. So we've set up camp in this building and buried the dead. Looks like we'll have to spend a bit more time here. While Gary and the other wounded are recovering, I've talked a lot with Nimble and the other guy. I'm convinced that they are not telling me everything, but still, I learned a lot of new stuff. In fact, they confirmed that this mercenary, S.T.A.L.K.E.R, was here recently. And guess what? My intuition was correct. He did escort the scientific expedition. Sadly, they all died during a large emission. Damn it. Toblev was a good man. He will be missed. For him, for his assistance, and for me, I'll finish the experiment. Whatever it takes. The news of their death filled me with a new determination. But then I learned something weird. This Scar guy, the Merc, he survived the blowout for some unknown reason. The bodies of the scientists were lost to the zone, so I can't even confirm their death. So maybe this Nimble guy is lying to me? I don't know. I don't see any reason why he would tell me about Toblev's death if it was not true, and he seems sincere about it. Moreover, I would have found something else about the professor and his men if they were still alive. That's one mystery solved, I guess. The fate of Toblev and his assistants is now cleared up. The first part of my mission is complete. Now it's time to pass to the second part, the experiment itself. But first, we need to get out of this swamp. Today, a small group of renegades came from the north, trying to retake their former position. Thankfully, we were expecting counterattacks, so the sentry we placed spotted them in advance, and they quickly retreated. But there might be other attempts to attack us, so we stay alert all the time. Another problem has risen. the lack of food. Our rations are running low, not to mention clean water, and our wounded men are not in a good enough shape to get on the move just yet. At least I learned a thing or two on how to treat wounds. One of the other stalkers showed me. Well, we decided to hunt some mutants. I don't think it's a good idea to eat mutated flesh, but we can't just starve to death. So we shot down a pig, and the barbecue started. Gary, who's a little bit better now, made a demonstration of the power of the artifacts. He used his trusty jellyfish, a wonderful artifact capable of absorbing radiations, to decontaminate the meat. I really need an artifact like that one. It would be so useful. Anyway, I was surprised. The meal was not that bad. It was actually pretty good. I will remember it. Knowing how to cook mutants might be a lifesaver in the zone. Finally, it looks like we are going to get out of here. The temperatures have started to fall dangerously low, so we are desperate to leave before it starts to snow. The wounded are better now. They should be able to follow along. We're gone, Gary and Nimble leading the way. At first everything went fine. The renegades were nowhere to be seen, and we progressed rapidly. But then this beast showed up. We could hear its heavy breathing, accompanied by the sounds of bushes being shaken around us, but we were not able to see it. At least not until the very last moment. I heard the creature getting closer and closer, and it was only when it grabbed the stalker next to me that I managed to distinguish it. It was a humanoid mutant, with 2 legs, 2 arms and a head on top, but for hands the monster had claws, which it used to snatch its victim. And on its head, tentacles. Really, it looked like an octopus man. This bloodsucker, as I later learned it was called, appeared out of nowhere, took one of the wounded stalkers, and vanished again, with the poor fellow screaming during the whole time. That scene only lasted for a few seconds, and nobody could react in time. You don't see this shit every day, even in the zone. We quickly thought about trying to rescue the missing stalker, but it was obviously a bad idea. He was probably dead already, so we just continued, with eyes more open than ever. Yet the monster did not come back. He got what he wanted. 1 stalker to eat is enough. Man, I wish I'll never go to that shitty swamp again. In the end, we made it to the agroprom. Almost all of our supplies were depleted, but we still brought back the artifacts we found. Gary was supposed to keep them, but he decided to give me at least 1 for coming back to save him. So I got to keep the crystal that I found in the swamp. I won't sell it just yet. Maybe it will keep me warm in all this cold.